So with the Boruto manga finally ramping up, it seems like a lot of events that we didn't expect to happen might actually happen pretty soon. If you're not caught with the manga, pretty much what's going on is Ada and Code have just invaded the Hidden Leaf Village, and Ada has just interacted with Amato. Code is there to get his numbers taken off, and Shikamaru is currently trying to defuse the situation. Now, a little bit before that, we actually had a scene with Sasuke and Boruto, and Boruto and Sasuke talking about him dying, and how Sasuke wished he was there to sort of take on that burden. And at the end of that conversation, Sasuke said something like, it may be me who needs to show the resolve pretty soon. And I feel like a lot of people took that quote one or two ways to think that either Sasuke is going to die or Sasuke is either going to have to kill Boruto if Momoshiki takes him over again. And I kind of want to delve a little bit deeper into the whole Sasuke dying thing, because I think it is coming, and I think that we can't deny the fact that at some point in the story it seems like Sasuke's death is going to happen. And we even see it from like Boruto episode 1 to where Boruto has Sasuke's clothing on, right? He has his cape and he has his sword. I mean, it seems a little bit odd that Boruto would have Sasuke's clothing, and something most likely would happen to Sasuke, right? Unless that Sasuke is, just unable to fight at that point in time and is not actually dead. It's also another option as well. But I do think that at this point is where something may happen to Sasuke during this Code and Ada invasion arc. And it's not even a bad thing if Sasuke actually dies. I think for Boruto's character in particular, it's something that would probably push him forward a little bit more. I feel like with Naruto, Naruto sort of have his sensei die. I feel like Boruto is going to have that same sort of character arc to where their senseis die and they sort of have to get stronger to sort of, seek revenge for whoever killed their sensei, right? And I feel like that's going to sort of happen with Boruto. He's going to have some sort of character arc to where he's training and whatnot, and he's going to get revenge on the person who took down Sasuke, which is most likely going to be either Code or Ada, right? And even with Sasuke dying, it doesn't just impact Boruto himself. It impacts a lot of characters. It impacts Naruto. Naruto and Sasuke have been friends for such a long time now. I can't imagine how devastated Naruto will be, towards this. I mean, it would impact Sarada, right? We've all been talking about this Magenko Sharingan that she's gonna get, and I'm personally one that I think that she should get her Magenko Sharingan in a different way. That's not necessarily through somebody's death, right? I mean, all her other Sharingans have been through strong emotions, whether that be like a strong emotion of love or whatever like that. And I kind of don't want to repeat the same way to where she gets a Magenko because, of her father dying. So potentially, if this happens, I guess they could sort of go on the same route that they've been going for, the other Uchiha like Itachi and Sasuke. But I prefer if Sarada actually doesn't get her Magenko through this way and gets it through some sort of new method that we haven't seen before. And it's just going to change a whole lot of the whole story dynamics, right? I mean, having Sasuke gone, having our second strongest character in the world gone, is going to change up the power dynamics a whole lot. I know Naruto and Sasuke as a duo was a pretty deadly duo in my opinion, right? And they're not going to be here at some point to sort of defend the Hidden Leaf Village and things of that nature. So in a way, it's sort of, Boruto sort of stepping up to the plate, sort of fitting that future role of being like a Shadow Hokage, right? And sort of stepping up and having to defend the Leaf Village when he needs to. And, even Kawaki at some point, because I don't think Kawaki is necessarily going to do anything stupid right now to where he might turn on the Hidden Leaf Village or do something to where his hand is forced to do something to Naruto or something like that. But, even at that point, those two are going to have to step up, whether they like it or not. They're either going to defend the Leaf Village or, in Kawaki's case, do something drastic to where he's, forced to possibly even, destroy the Leaf Village or some other things like that, against his will, or whatever the case may be, sort of step up those two as like the new two strongest ninja if Naruto and Sasuke aren't around. And then sort of puts into perspective to how these are the new generation. These are the new strongest characters that are going to be around. And, if we ever get to see something like the Otsutskis invade like some of the other ones that were, missing from the stone tablets, then, these are the guys that are going to sort of, come in and fit in. Now, also, the whole thing with Sasuke's death is if he's going to die in this future arc, I think it has to be done well to where it's not a cop-out, it's not something stupid, it's something to where we can actually see him die, maybe a worthy death, maybe he puts up his best fight, takes down somebody, something like that, right? And sort of like redemption for himself, right? I mean, I know Sasuke sort of been atoning for his sins in Naruto Shippuden, and he's sort of been on this journey of, he's not even gonna get his arm back, right? Because he's like, I don't really deserve that arm, and he just sort of fights with one arm now, and he's sort of on this path of retribution. But I feel like this one final act is sort of a way for Sasuke to atone for the things that he's been doing in the past, and sort of be that person who sort of bears the weight of whatever may be going on, whatever danger may be going on, and sacrifice himself for the greater good. And Naruto sort of still being the figurehead will probably still be alive, but Sasuke is that one character that is willing to sacrifice himself, and worst come the worst, will put himself in front of a blow to protect somebody. So I do think if Sasuke's death does happen, it needs to be something to where it's not a cop-out, and we sort of see why Sasuke died. It's not something that kind of upsets us, right? And I remember when Naruto was supposed to, quote-unquote die during that Ishiki fight, right? And man, the people that were upset by that was crazy. And I think even if, Naruto's case, if Naruto died when he did the Baron mode, I think that would have actually been perfectly okay. I don't know a better way for Naruto to go out, right? I mean, him using his Baron mode as his one last trump card, him and Kirama fighting for one last time, sort of dying like that, that would have been perfectly okay with me, right? So if it's something like that to where Sasuke's death happens in that way, I think that's perfectly fine with me. And the whole thing with Sasuke as well is that, man, Sasuke has been slowly losing limbs. I mean, he lost his arm, and he lost his Rinnegan. So at this point, Sasuke has been pretty crippled from that perspective. So I feel like they have been slowly dwindling Sasuke down in terms of his, I guess, physical attributes, right? I mean, he's been losing body parts, so it sort of seems like even then, the death of Sasuke has sort of been foreshadowed in that way. But I'm kind of curious to hear what you guys have to say. Do you guys see Sasuke possibly dying before a time skip in this Code Invasion arc? And who do you see even taking him down, if anything? Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and join the Discord. And I will see you guys later. Peace.